You clicked on this video, which means that you somehow struggle to see the results after training at the gym. You go to the gym, you train, you work out, but even though you do all those things, the results are coming slowly, and you feel like it shouldn't be like that. Well, then this video is for you. But first of all, my name is Emil, and the reason why you should listen to me is because I'm the guy who right now closes the second year on the self-improvement, from the start of trying to do anything positive with my life. And through this time, I learned pretty many things. Many of them coming into the fitness thing, also the gym, because I've been consistent in going to the gym for right now almost 2 years. And went through the beginner stage, which means that I've already learned a couple of things that you may not know yet, which may cause you not to see the results as quickly as it should be, as quickly as you would want. Right? In this video, I will share with you a couple of my mistakes I've done on the journey that slowed down my progress at the beginning. But again, if this title is applying to your situation, I have an important insight that may fit your life. But let's leave it at the end of this video. I have to keep your attention for a little longer. So coming to the first thing I did was I forged a training plan. I made it for myself. And the plan was decent, but the problem is that I restricted it down to the amount of reps I should do on a certain set. Basically, I opened Excel, wrote the exercise I wanted to do, and I wrote next to them 3 sets for 8 reps. So if the plan said 8 reps, I did 8 reps, even though I could do 1 more or 2 more. I restricted too much this number, because if you are a beginner, or if you were the very beginner but still struggle to see the results, you've been in this stage and heard that some people say that you should train to failure, some people say that you should leave some in reserve. That's a scientific approach to the topic, that some people say that you should leave 1 rep or 2 reps in reserve, not to reach the failure. But let me tell you some bro science proof. Sam Sulek. You know this guy, right? He's right now, I'd say, the top influencer in fitness niche. He does over 95% of his sets till failure or beyond failure. And you see how big this guy is. Well, of course, steroids, but even though this guy is massive, and what he does is working for him. He isn't any extraordinary guy with top 1% of the world genetics or top 0.1% genetics. Of course he is good, but if something works for him, it will also work for you. And it worked for me, because I started doing my sets to failure or beyond, and that's when I finally were able to see some results. Because, okay, let's go more in depth. Do you even know how the muscle is growing after a workout? Simply, during a set, you have to tore the muscle fibers in, let's say, bicep. After you do bicep curls, you have to tear the small parts of the muscle. Well, some of you may have some chills right now, because I believe that some of you have seen bicep torn or any muscle torn injuries, but this is different. The things that you were seeing were tearing the whole muscle. What happens on every training you do is that single muscle fibers are broken in your muscle, let's say bicep. So after training, your body tries to recover, but if something is torn, something is destroyed, your body will destroy it bigger and stronger to prevent from tearing it again. Like, it's even below than subconscious, it's natural, it's habitual for our body to work in this way. It's just our thing that will tear the muscle again and again and again, because after that the muscle will be bigger and stronger, bigger and stronger. Those are the results you want. So we have to tear the muscle. And do you think that it tears down painlessly? Not really. That's basically the pain you feel at the gym after hitting a good set. That pain in your muscle is those muscle fibers being torn. And you can achieve it only with the high intensity training. So after the body will rebuild the muscle, it will be stronger. Going back to training till failure or beyond failure, training till failure is a very simple concept. You train up until you can't do any more good form rep. So basically, whether or not it will be pain in the muscle, which is kind of rewarding, but at the very beginning I struggled to go to that moment. More it looked like I was doing a set, and all of a sudden, like, let's say bicep curl, can't go through the barrier, like can't finish the movement. It doesn't hurt that much, but it's blocked. This is also a failure. So this is also a good thing that happened. Like, it was a good set if you went to this moment where you can't push anymore, even though it's not painful, because it's the thing that happens when you don't have yet enough strength or a muscle build for it to tear down so successfully. But it is a phase that you have to go through. If you reach this moment, you've reached failure. Good for you. If you reach the moment where the muscle pain is so big, so strong that you can't go further, also you reach the failure. Good for you. But you can also go beyond failure. How to do that is to lift after this moment of pause. But it's not done basically you push more, because you can't push more. The failure is when you can't push more. So what you do, one thing you could do is you could drop some weight. So let's say that you do 50 kg bench press and you can't push any more rep. So you rack and now do it a 40 kg bench press. So you take off some weight from both sides and go again, immediately, without resting. If you do 2 reps with 40, you went beyond failure on this set. Very similar concept, but easier to perform will be with your friend or a spotter, where basically he helps you finish the movement. That's something easily seen on the preacher curlers. You've probably seen some guys training there, and when the one training is blocked, can't go further, the other one gives a slight push to the machine or to the barbell to decrease the weight and help finish the movement, so the person training goes slightly beyond failure. And the last way to go about that, which is not as good but still works, is doing some cheat reps. So basically where your form goes bad. But it's not good with every exercise. For example, with bicep curl, you can do that. So instead of being still and doing the proper timing movement, when you can't do it no more, you start wiggling a little bit. You shouldn't be doing that, but if you are at the moment where you can't hit a normal rep, but you can hit a rep with dropping your entire body to the back to help the movement, you went beyond failure. And this will help you build muscle. But with that, be cautious, because it may cause you an injury. And we don't want that. This will definitely slow down your muscle building process. So going to the second thing I did, which slowed me down, was overlooking eating. This is like eating and dieting has a lot of stuff. Some of it I already explained in the previous videos, like there was one about starting the gym, dieting, like you will find them. I already explained how macronutrients work and some similar stuff. This video I want you to give a very simple advice. You have to eat much if you want to build much. It's common sense, but some people, including me at the very beginning, overlook that. Especially if you go with counting your calories, which was great for me. I wouldn't, like, I'm not saying it's bad, but you have to look at it on the good note. Because there were some days where I basically said to myself that I can't have this meal because I will go over the boundaries of macros that this app counted for me. I will be 7 grams of fat over the amount I should be on, in a day. Like, what the hell? I didn't overdo my fast at that moment, but I lacked a couple hundred calories till the breaking, like the barrier I should hit, because you have to eat enough. You have to eat over your maintenance, over your like normal calorie intake, which like basically is for your body to work normally, and that everything you put over it will come basically to building muscle. But if you don't go over the maintenance stage, how are you gonna give enough energy to your body to build muscle? Of course, like what I did, doing it once had no result whatsoever. It didn't slow me down to don't eat enough once. But if it happens once every while, it slowed my progress. After I stopped caring so much about every gram of fat or every gram of carbs, and still keeping them in a tidy way, focused mainly on hitting enough calories, that's when the progress came because it was also more consistent. Third thing, only to cover it up quickly, because I hope you know that, but never ever overlook your form, especially as a beginner, because if you're more intermediate, you know what happens on the every exercise you're doing. You know why does it work on that muscle, how does it work on that muscle when you do this movement, but at the beginning you don't know that. So if you skip a certain detail of a form, let's say you don't want to focus on your abs on the bench press, you just let it slip. Like the only thing that matters is that you lay on the bench and you press. And you don't know why or why not you shouldn't do that. If you don't listen to the advice of, I don't know, maybe a YouTube video where you've seen the proper form, maybe you're older, more, maybe not older, but more advanced gym bro or any gym goer, you may literally not only destroy your gains because not working good enough on the muscle, you may injure you strongly for a long time, and this is something that will destroy your progress if you injure yourself. And even if you don't, you're just killing your gains with not doing the exercises with the proper form. So I hope I've made myself clear here. Those were the things that stopped me heavily. After getting rid of them, I was able to see the results. But coming back, I've said that I have some insight for you. Maybe, the process of building muscle is so slow. Because process of building muscle is naturally very slow. Like, it's easy to forget, especially after you finish the phase of the noob gains. Because of the first month, 2, maybe 3 months, I don't remember perfectly, you build your muscles like crazy. Like, you can have mediocre workouts and still have results way better than bodybuilders who've put 10 years into progressing and do their exercises, do their workouts perfectly. You're still making more of them, like if we were to compare the amount of strength gained here and here. But after this phase ends, you are left with like not natural expectations of the pace, and you have to realize that it will take a lot of time to build muscle, even if your trainings are good, even if you don't do the mistakes I've done, even if your training is great. This will take time, and you have to remember that. I hope you're not a quitter that will get discouraged to train, right? If this video was helpful, you can leave a subscribe so more people are able to see my content and you are able to help me, because I want to share the knowledge with the most people I can, so you can help me. Basically, any number you leave is great. Now go and make your way to a better future.